Hello. Today we are going to be using Britannica to do research online. So when we go to the computer and pull up the internet, our Parkwood site comes up as our home page. From Parkwood, we have all these tabs at the top. We're going to go to Resources and Student Links. Most of us should be kind of familiar with this from last year, and kind of familiar with Britannica from last year. This should be a review for some of us. The second one here on our student links is the Britannica link. It will bring us up to the home page. The home page usually will give us some little trivia questions that you can kind of scroll through. It has a search bar up here at the top, so if we know specifically what we are researching, people, animals, events, places, whatever it is that we're looking for, we can type it in the search bar, and we are going to do that in a minute. But if you are not sure of your topic, let's say we're just getting started with the research process, and I know that we're doing animals, but I haven't picked my animal yet. Down here at the bottom, they have these different browse categories. You can browse through articles. The articles will give you different information. Let's say the very first one is an alligator. It gives you this information in an article form like that. And that's how most of the research at Britannica is going to be found. The media, it's similar to the articles in that will give you a category to pick. Animals, you pick whatever animal it might be that you're looking for. Let's go with the Triceratops. But with media, we just have pictures to look at and sometimes videos if they have them available. There's no article that gives you like the facts like the article does. Okay. Now to get back to the home page, we can click right up here on Elementary Home, or this is what we call breadcrumbs. It leaves a little trail of how we got to where we are, or we can click the home page here. Some of the other ones in the browse category, there's a world atlas. So if we're doing countries, I know third grade will eventually do countries. This world atlas is really good if you're trying to narrow down your country. You can just click on a specific country and it will bring up, okay, Europe, Spain. Here it will give me a little summary and tell me a little bit. I can click on read article and it'll give me a lot more information. If I click on profile, it gives me just some quick statistics about the country. And then here are some related articles that you might find that have to deal with Spain. So the World Atlas is a nice feature if you're trying to find more about a specific country. There is also, back at the home page, compare countries down here. Show more. And the compare countries, especially you third graders, once you're getting ready to do your country research, if you are not sure what country you want to do, but maybe you've narrowed it down to 1 or 2, 3, you can search just those specific countries and kind of compare the two. Let's say I'm looking at Russia and Germany. I don't know which one I like better. This just gives me some quick stats about each country right next to each other, so I can kind of look through and see which one I think maybe looks more interesting or which one I might can find more information on. Like I said, these are the stats. If you click on articles and media up here, it'll bring you the beginning of the article. You'll have to click on full article to read the whole thing, or it'll give you some images for the media down here. So if you're not sure about what country you want, that might help you narrow it down. Alright, we're going to go back to the home page. Also down here in the browse category, you have biographies of people that you can go through, the animal kingdom, tour the USA. It's just like the World Atlas, only it is specific to the United States. So if we need to know more information about a specific state. Geography Explorer is actually a game, so we probably don't want to use that very often unless you just have some extra time and your teacher allows you to. You are building a map in Geography Explorer, and we already talked about the compare countries. So that's what we have as far as browsing goes if you're not sure about what you are researching. But a lot of times when we come in here, we probably have an idea of what we're going to be doing as far as research. So if I'm researching kangaroos, let's say, I'm going to come up here to the search bar and I'm going to type in what I'm looking for. Kangaroo. And I just hit enter after I typed it in. Okay, and it brings up this whole list of, here I'm in articles, so articles, there's the very first one is called kangaroo, it tells me that a kangaroo is a mammal. Then there's marsupials, gestation in marsupials. So as I scroll down, I see that there's more specific articles and things like that. But if I'm doing specific research on kangaroos, then this very top one is probably my best bet. Now if we look over here, we can also narrow it down to just images. So let's say I've already done most of my research and I just need a few pictures to go in there. I can always come into the images and just pick from here. They also have videos. Only one video here with kangaroos. And then a dictionary. Gives me a definition of kangaroo. Magazines. So these are different articles from magazines. And web's best sites. And lesson plans are for teachers. Kids probably don't want that. So we're going to go back up here to articles and click on the first one, that kangaroo article. Alright, and it gives me all of this information about kangaroos. Now see down here at the bottom, it says click to scroll down. I can tell that there is room to scroll down because this down arrow is a little bit darker. Notice there's no room to scroll up because that one's a little bit lighter. So if I click, don't go down too far, but now my up arrow has turned dark, so I know I can't go down any further, but I can't go back up. Now notice up here it says read aloud. We can click the play button. Okay, so it will read it aloud to me. Now I see here marsupials is in a different color. Now just like when we're reading a nonfiction book, anything that's in a different color stands out, bold, whatever it is that makes it different, it's probably an important word. I can click on this important word and it brings up a whole nother article about marsupials, which, you know, that might be great if I want to learn a little more about marsupials, but right now I'm trying to look specifically at kangaroos, so I'm going to click my back button, get back to my kangaroo article. Okay, and then over here I have some images. If I click on the image, it will enlarge it for me. I see there's another one over here where I can hit the next arrow to go to the next image. To get out of the images, click on my little X button, and it'll take me back to my article. Okay, now this looks like a pretty good bit of information to me, but if you are in maybe 5th grade and you're looking for a little bit more, something a little more in depth, notice it says reading level 1 and there is also a reading level 2. If you wanted to switch where the reading level is a little harder and you might get a little bit more in-depth information, you can click on reading level 2. And we're still in Britannica, but now instead of Britannica elementary school, we're now in the middle school. Whoops, I didn't mean to click on middle. Go back. And so it just kind of gives you a little bit more information, a little more in-depth information, if that's where you want to go with your research. And then of course there is a reading level 3, as you can imagine. That will take us up to even more information. There's a little video. Okay, but for most of us we're probably going to stick with level 1, which should be the elementary. I have to click back, and now we're back to it. Alright, so I have found all this great information on kangaroos. It's time for me to start doing my research, but now I've run out of time. So, now that I've found what I want, it's time for me to actually do my research. I can read through my article and jot down what I think is most important, or I can have it read aloud to me. If you were in a classroom full of other students who are doing the same thing, it's probably not a good idea to have it read aloud to you unless you have some headphones, or else that's going to be a very noisy classroom. And we will practice taking notes at a later time. Right now I just want us to practice with going on to Britannica, getting familiar with doing searches and browsing through the categories down here at the bottom. So, good luck, and let us know if you need any help. Thank you so much.